Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTN News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Nolene Ebel Ame. Let's begin with headlines. President Bola Tinubu outlines key reforms, affirms bold decisions are yielding measurable results. Federal government inaugurates compressed natural gas special palliative for university transportation.
On training, students will not just ride on CNG vehicles, they will learn how to convert and to maintain them.
West African Examinations Council apologies for late night English language paper examination. Tragedy hits Niger State as flooding consumes more than 20 people. And now to the news. More than 20 people have died in a flood that submerged about 50 houses in Tifin Maza and Angwan Hausawa in Mokwa local government area of Niger State. The Director General of the State Emergency Agency, Abdullahi Baba Ara, confirmed the flood to NTA, explaining that it was as a result of a heavy downpour on Wednesday in the area. He said 3 survivors, a woman and her 2 children, are currently receiving treatment at the Mokwa General Hospital while rescue operations are still ongoing. And joining me now to speak further on this is Dr. Ibrahim Audu Hussaini, Director of Information and Special Duties and Acting DG, Niger State Emergency Management Agency, for situation report on the tragedy. Doctor, you are welcome to the news at 10.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning to you. All right, can you tell us the fatality, as a result of this heavy downpour?
The situation is very, very terrible here, as such a rescue operation was going on throughout the night, and we are still ongoing because on hourly basis or on every 30 minutes more corpses have been discovered. As I speak to you now, we have 86 corpses that have been recovered, some buried, some are in the process of being buried. I will still have information that downstream, close to River Niger, where this water flowed through, there are so many corpses there that we are still people such as few people are on their way there to go and for the evacuation. Well, a camp has already been opened in the primary school because there is a whole community, about 2 communities, and reclaim its root. That is what happened here.
Okay, Dr. Ibrahim.
Yes.
Was it actually, at these places, the houses that are affected, really maybe built on flood-prone areas?
Most of the houses are on the floodplains. They are on the floodplains. Most of the houses are on the floodplains. But because there is a blue erosion that passed through the area, it traverses through the town and then go out. That is what happens.
So those affected, what support are they getting from government or other organization?
The Niger government has opened, the governor has directed that we should open a camp, and as present we have opened a camp since yesterday night. But officially the camp has been declared open today, and the profiling is still ongoing. Most people have not come to the camp because they are still where the incident happened, try to salvage some of their property that can be salvaged, so they are in the process. So, but for now, we have over 150 people in the camp that we are profiling. And we are also working here with the National Emergency Management Agency, who are also already bringing the necessities, that is food and non-food items, including sanitary materials for these people. And as at this morning, about 11 to 15 people were treated from the hospital and discharged. It's only remaining one woman that just gave birth to twins, and her twins have not been found yet. But we cannot tell her because of the trauma she's going through. She's in the confusion now. We are only coming out, and she's the only person that's remaining in the hospital for now.
All right, now, what is Niger State's government actually doing at this point in order to prevent further incidents of this magnitude?
The deputy governor just arrived here. The governor has directed all
sorry for the glitch there in speaking with
those that are affected. The chairman of the management board is name.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ibrahim Audu Husseini, Director of Information and Special Duties and Acting DG Niger State Emergency Management Agency. Is actually giving us a situation report on the downpour that occurred, of course, you know, ravaging communities and fatalities recorded. All right, moving on now. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says Nigeria has turned a critical corner towards economic recovery 2 years into his administration. In a nationwide address to mark his second anniversary in office, the president outlined key reforms under the Renewed Hope agenda, affirming that bold decisions taken since May 2023 are yielding measurable results.
On the brink, President Tinubu says his administration acted decisively to halt a looming economic collapse, scrapping decades-long fuel subsidies and unifying multiple exchange rate windows. These reforms, he notes, though tough, were necessary to stabilize the economy. The results? Easing of inflation, fall in staple food prices, including rice. The oil and gas sector is bouncing back. Rig counts are up over 400% compared to 2021, and more than $8 billion in investments have been secured. On Nigeria's fiscal deficit, he points out that it has sharply narrowed from 5.4% of GDP in 2023 to 3.0% in 2024. The country generated over 6 trillion naira in revenue in the first quarter of 2025, with foreign reserves rising from $4 billion in 2023 to over $23 billion by the end of 2024. Fuel supply security is improving through local refining. With subsidies removed, the NNPC has become a net contributor to the Federation account. Debt sustainability is improving too. Nigeria's debt service to revenue ratio dropped to under 40% in 2024, down from nearly 100% in 2022. The country has cleared its IMF obligations and discontinued ways and means financing, once a driver of inflation. The president states that tax reforms are paying off. The tax to GDP ratio has risen from 10% to 13.5% in 1 year. It further protects low-income households with essentials like food, education, rent, public transport, and renewable energy, attracting 0% VAT. A new national fiscal policy and a tax ombudsman are being introduced to ensure fairness and accountability, especially for small businesses. Targeted and transparent incentives supporting high-impact manufacturing, technology, and agriculture sectors introduced to stimulate inclusive economic growth. It highlights that diversification is also taking root. The solid minerals sector has attracted fresh investments and seen revenues grow. On security, the president says greater collaboration among security agencies is restoring order. Bandit-ridden regions in the northwest are seeing peace return. Farmers are back on their lands. Highways are safer. Abducted citizens have been rescued. Access to education has expanded through new infrastructure and the rollout of the student loan scheme. Infrastructure development is ongoing, with key highways and roads under construction nationwide. He reaffirms his commitment to economic justice, national unity, and shared prosperity for all Nigerians.
Similarly, former President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated President Bola Tinubu on his midterm, saying that as the party and the government celebrate, the country should be reminded that leadership is a continuous journey. He called for steadfast support for the APC government as it marks its second year in office, explaining that reforms would achieve success gradually, not overnight. He warned that necessary reforms and desired changes must not fall victim to nettlesome domestic politics. He expressed support for the ongoing efforts by the administration to curb poverty and inflation, which he says have hit the poorest families the hardest, adding, however, the task of reducing poverty and inflation, which is immense, mustn't be left only for the government. He urged Nigerians to remain optimistic and stay confident about the country's future. The All Progressives Congress says the turbulence experienced in the journey of the renewed hope agenda in first 2 years of Tinubu's presidency is clear manifestation of a careful planning. This came to the fore during a midterm assessment of the activities and legacy projects of the APC-led national government. Abubakar Akwanga reports. All right, at this point, we shall be joining our broadcast crew for a live program. Thank you.